Hey there, in this video, we're going to talk about cold calling. Now, I'll be straightforward and honest with you. I think cold calling is the biggest waste of time that you can burden yourself with because it is not as effective as it once was. In fact, it's probably the lowest return of any activity you could do to prospect. However, I see it work every single day, and I want to help you make it super simple. I want to take the guesswork out of it for you. I want to reduce the brain damage that it could potentially cause and all the angst and pain and anxiety that generally is associated with it. Now, full disclaimer here, I do not cold call unless I absolutely have to because there's much more effective ways. In fact, below this video, I will link to a video I did about how I have built my business and successful businesses doing a process that is more of a self-marketing process that you can implement free of charge or maybe a little bit of investment that will get you a much better return even if you couple it with this cold calling. So below this video, you'll find that. But in here, I want to give you a simple, proven, time-tested, battle-tested, simple framework for cold calling. I've been working with appointment setters for about 3 years now. My background, real quick, just so you know the relevance and the importance and the credibility and all that stuff. Not that you care about me, but I want you to know that what I'm going to share with you and I'm going to give to you is proven and you can trust it. And even if you don't trust it, just try it. I've seen people completely jack up this framework, but they kind of stuck to it and it worked in their favor. And then I've seen people who have a lot of skill and their ability to make these calls absolutely destroy it and get better results than anybody else on their team. Right. So my background is I'm a 14-year sales professional. And back in the day, I did have to cold call and it was painful and I hated it. And then I ran into a mentor who wrote a book called Cold Calling is a Waste of Time. And he gave me other ways to be able to prospect. And I embraced that instead. But so I was 14-year sales professional. First 6 years were absolutely dismal, went through 9 jobs because I refused to cold call and do all the stuff that they were teaching me to do. But in year 7, I ended up landing in a place that was really good, found my selling voice, and fell in love with sales and sales training. And so in year 14, I left the corporate world and started my own company, a corporate training brand that evolved into a sales training brand. And for the last, I guess, 15 years, I've been full time training, speaking, and coaching in the area of sales and influence. So I get to work with inside sales, outside sales, brand new salespeople, established salespeople. And while I think cold calling is the least value thing you can do, if you have to do it, you should take the guesswork out of it. So here we go. I'm going to share with you a cold call framework or a script, and I'm going to show you the generic version and kind of explain what's going on. And then I'm going to give you a specific version so you'll have an example. So what I want you to do after you watch this video, I mean, you can just watch this video and go over and over, but if you want me to send you a copy of that cold call script, my information is below, or you might be on a page where you can just submit your information. I'll send it right over to you so you can have it and you can play with it and work with it. But without further ado, let me jump in and share my screen. Now I just blew up my screen super big so you can see this. But again, if you want a copy of this, just send me a message, drop a comment here, send me an email, or if there's a page, if we're on a page where you can just submit your information, it'll come right to you. But the simple cold call framework. So, and I'll share it with you, you can read it, but I'm going to, give you the thoughts behind it and why it's so effective and why it actually works. So the first sentence coming right out of the gate, whenever you pick up the phone, somebody answers it and says, hello. The framework goes like this. Hi, so-and-so, this is Dwayne. How's it going today? Now, I asked that question because you're going to gauge, it's more about gauging where their energy is and whether they're receptive to talking to you or if they seem a little like hesitant or anything in between. You'll be able to feel that vibe. Now if they are open for a little chit chat and rapport, by all means go there. A little bit of humor, a little bit of how's your day going, or anything. I'm not a big person on small talk and chit chat. I like to get to the point, and some people are the same way. But if you ask them how's it going today, they're going to tell you, and you'll be able to gauge where to go from there. At that point, whether you have built rapport or had a little chit chat or not, the next thing I want to do is get to the bottom line and say, hey, I'm with influence seminars, for example. I'm with my company. Are you familiar with us? Chances are they won't be, especially if you're cold calling them because they didn't come looking for you. You came looking for them, right? But if you say, "Are you familiar with us?" and give them the chance to say, "No, I don't think I've heard of you before." Or if they even say, "Yeah, I think I've heard of you before," keep it simple, keep it brief, because even if they think they've heard of you before, they don't know the fullness of what you do. And get right to the point where you focus on the results you can get for them. So briefly, here's what we help our clients do. Now, the reason I don't say here's what we can help you do is because that will create all kind of resistance, and you won't get much further in this call. So here's what we help our clients do. It takes the focus off of them, but shows them what's possible and what we do for other clients. And I would focus on two or three very simple, short, not too wordy results that you can get for that you get for your clients that you can ultimately get for them, results that they already want or value. And I'll give you an example of this here. But for example, let's say, so briefly, we help our clients increase sales without having to offer discounts. That might be something, if it's a business owner, and I'll get to the example here, that might be something that a business owner wants. And so whenever I say that, it's the world they live in. I need to enter the conversation that's already going on in their mind daily, things that they think about, things that they talk about, things that they want, things that they're still trying to solve for. And I want to give two or three, and I want to be very simple about it. I'll give you a result. I'll give you an example here in a second. Before I get ahead of myself, though, what are you guys currently doing when it comes to achieving that result? Or I could say, hey, I assume you guys probably already have something going on or something in place when it comes to achieving that result. To which they're in either case, they're probably going to say, yep, we got this going on. Say, okay, perfect. What, are you happy with the results that you're seeing? Now, why would I ask them if they're happy with the results they're seeing? Because if they're happy with the results they're seeing, they're going to be willing to say, yep, we're all covered. It's all taken care of. We're good. We're happy. And it's okay if they say that. Most people will run away from that or are trying to avoid that. But even if they say they're happy with the results, you can ask them, so, what is it that's really working in your favor if you want to? But I would go immediately into, well, nice. I'm glad to hear that. Do you feel like there's any room for improvement? This is a very powerful question because 95% of the time, if not more, they're going to say, well, there's always room for improvement, which is kind of a buy-in where they lower their walls and they're acknowledging that there's room for improvement. And so from there, you can say, well, let me ask you this. And now you're going to establish the gap between where they are and where they feel they should be. So I would say, so let me ask you this. I mean, how many units are you guys moving a month? And let them tell you. And then say, and confirm, are they the owner of the business? Are you the owner of the dealership? Are you the owner of the business? Are you the owner of the company? Are you the CEO? Are you the sales manager? Whatever the decision maker's position might be. And when they confirm, yeah, that's me, say, well, and the reason we're asking that is because we want to talk to the person who actually owns the problem because they are the decision maker. And then I would say something like, well, as the decision maker, I mean, where do you feel like you guys should be? Or another way of saying is, where would you like it to be? And they'll establish that. Now you have a gap between where they are and where they want to be. And I say, okay, got it. Well, so, if you knew or had to guess. Now, it's how you deliver this as well as what you say. But if you knew or had to guess is a phrase that makes it okay and non-confrontational if they have to guess, but if they know, they can answer with confidence. So I'd say, okay, I got it. So if you knew or had to guess, I mean, what do you believe may be holding you back from getting there? Neutral language. Because if I say, what's holding you back? That's a little confrontational and they're going to get on the defensive. But if I say, hey, look, if you knew or had to guess, I mean, what do you believe might be holding you back or maybe holding you back? Then let them talk. And just be present in that moment, uncover and explore what that barrier, that gap, or what's standing in the way might be, what pain it's causing them, and then invite them. Somebody told me one time, the more specific your request, the less pushy it seems. And the whole objective of this co-call framework is to keep the resistance down and get them talking to you. Because whenever they create the gap and they identify pain and they see a potential that they're not reaching, people support what people help create. And if they tell you, it's going to be more likely that momentum is going to carry them into wanting to have a business conversation to be able to help them solve that problem. So let them talk, uncover and explore the pain, Invite them to a business conversation that will help them bridge the gap and remove the pain, even if they don't ultimately do business with you. Now, that's generic, right? And you can insert all the things, the payoff, the benefit, the pain, and everything that you understand about your customer. But let me give you a more concise, specific example so you can see the flow. And let me just walk through this. Hey, Richard, this is Dwayne. How's it going today? Oh, it's just one of those days. It's, the beginning of the month and we're just trying to make it work. Yep, nope, I get it. Me too. I mean, after all, we are in sales, right? That might be how the dialogue goes. And I'd say, well, hey, look, I'm with Influence Seminars. Are you familiar with us? To which he'll probably say, no, I don't think I've heard of you guys. Well, so briefly, we help our clients increase the number of sales that they make every month. We help them avoid the need to offer discounts just to close the business. And we help them beat their lower cost competitors. But before I get ahead of myself, I mean, what are you guys currently doing when it comes to creating kind of ongoing, predictable, and sustainable sales growth? Or I could say, I assume you guys already have something in place that's helping you and your salespeople achieve ongoing, predictable sales growth. I mean, what are you guys currently doing? All right. And then I could say, well, let me ask you this: are you happy with the results? And they'll probably say, well, yeah, we're happy with the results. Or they might say, yep, we're completely. I say, oh, fine, fantastic. Hey, I mean, is there any room for improvement? To which, again, like I said, they'll always say, or that most of the times they'll say, yeah, there's always room for improvement. And then I immediately go here and I can say, so let me ask, I mean, how many units are you guys moving a month currently? And you're the business owner, right? Yeah. How many would you like it to be each month? Okay, got it. So I guess if you knew or had to guess, what do you believe might be holding you or your salespeople back from getting there? And then let them talk, uncover and explore the pain, invite them to a business conversation that will help them bridge the gap and remove the pain, even if you don't do business. Here's how I would say that. Let me come back to screen. Another way you could do that is you can, before you say, is there room for improvement? You could just go into saying, so let me ask you this, where are you guys currently? How many units are you moving? And you're the decision maker, right? And where would you like it to be? I guess ideally. Sounds like there's room for improvement. To which they'll say, yeah, I guess there is. That's another way that you can do it. But here's the thing. The purpose of this, and I think if you go through it a few times, you'll see the purpose is to lower that resistance and just get them in a conversation that's easy to have, but gets them to face in a way that's non-confrontational or non-threatening the fact that they're here, they want to be here, there's something standing in the way, but ultimately, if they make this change and bridge that gap, there's a payoff that's worth making the change, or there's loss that if they don't make the change is going to continue to impact them. But here's where I would invite them, and here's what I believe will make it even more powerful and effective. Remove the risk, take the threat or the pressure out of the situation by simply ending the call like this, or saying, hey, listen, I don't know if we can even help. I need to know some of the things that we just talked about here. But worst case scenario, here's what we'll do. I'll share 2 or 3 ideas with you that even if you and your people just take them and implement them, will help you see an immediate uptick in the results that you're getting. I mean, would you be opposed to that? Now, why would I say would you be opposed to that? Because Chris Voss wrote a book called Never Split the Difference. In there, he talks about the power of no. And he talks about people always want to say no because it makes them feel in control. And if you will get them saying no in a way that plays in your favor and theirs. So instead of me saying, would you be interested in having this conversation? Because they're going to say no. But if you say, would you be opposed to having that conversation, very specific, they'll be like, no, I wouldn't be opposed to that. And then you'll book your meeting. So I know that's a lot. Go back and watch this video. If you want that script, drop a comment below, send me a direct message or send me an email. Or I think you even have information on there. You can send me a text. Or if there's a page that we're on and you're watching this video, if there's a place to submit your information, it'll come right to you. So do that. And stay tuned. Hey, listen, if you enjoyed this, please share it with somebody who could also benefit. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell on the YouTube page. If you're there, if you're not on YouTube, it's at Selling with Influence. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.